What's going on, guys? Mr. Hunter here, second grade, with your math lesson for today. We've got a variety of things we're going to talk about, so we're just going to go through it pretty quickly. I'm going to talk you through some of the problems, and I'm going to pull up my whiteboard on the Zoom to show you one of the other problems once we turn it on the back. But for now, let's just start with our first one on page 263 and 264. It says, number one, write the fractions from least to greatest, so the smallest to the biggest. So looking at the circles, that's what it tells us to do. Look at the circles. They're going to help us. So looking right now, what is the smallest fraction that you see over there? Is it 1/2? Is it 3/4, 1/3, or 1/4? Which looks the smallest? From my perspective, I can see, and I think you guys know this already, it's 1/4. Ruby, if you're seeing there, it's a small little circle. It's a little portion of it, but that portion is smaller than 3/4. It's smaller than 1/3, smaller than 1/2. So I think we can all agree, Mackenzie and Ada, yep, we're going to put 1/4 as the least. So the next one, what do we have? Well, I don't think it's going to be 3/4 because all the other numbers had 1. So I think 3 is bigger than 1, right? So that's probably going to be the one that's going to be the greatest. So we're going to choose between 1/2 and 1/3. And if you look at the 1/2 circle, that looks bigger than the 1/3 circle. So 1/3 is smaller. So we're going to put 1/3 right there. And then if we said 3/4 is the greatest because it has more spots filled up, then what is going to be next? 3/4 is the greatest. The only spot that's left is for 1/2. Very simple. When you're using the pictures there, 1/4, 1/2, 1/3, 2/4, or 3/4. I will tell you this, all the answers will not always look like this. Sometimes they'll just have the numbers there. They'll just have 1/2, 1/3, 3/4, and you have to tell us. You won't even have a picture to see. So make sure you just know the sizes itself and know for sure what it's going to look like in your head, or you can draw a picture of something to replicate what those fractions are. But you won't always have a circle to go off of to give you the visual help that you just got there. The next one is write the answer. What is a quart? What is a pint? What is a cup? What is a gallon? Those are items that we've went over in the past, and you're going to fill those out. How many quarts or how many pints are in a quart? There's two. There's 2 pints in a quart. But then if you know there's 2 pints in a quart, then when you're going down to see how much what a pint is, how many pints are in 2 quarts? You guys really have to look at that to really make sure that you know exactly how you break it down all the way from gallons, pints, quarts, and cups, all right? So that's what you're going to do to that one. Number 3, it says draw the lines to match. So we have an oval. Do we see what an oval is on the other side? Well, yes, we see the oval. We're going to draw it there. It looks like a circle, but it's not a circle. What is a hexagon? Well, at the bottom of this, you see there's a rectangle, trapezoid, diamond, hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides. Everybody say that, 6 sides. So when you look for one of those shapes, look to see what hexagon, what shape has 6 sides. What is a rectangle? I think we all know that. What is a diamond? I think you guys know that. A trapezoid we've done a lot of work with, and then you have a hexagon that has 6 sides. So you're just matching them up, lining them up. Now, when you're writing the quotients, what does that look like? That means we're doing division, so we're dividing. So you have 20 divided by 5. Well, how many times do you have to count by 5 until you get to 20? 5, 10, 15, 20. How many times do we count by 5? 4. You guys are doing good with division. I think you're going to do good with the other problems, but I just wanted to try that out for you. So fill in the blanks accordingly. Make sure you're seeing how many times you have to count to 5 to get to 40. How many times do you have to count by 5 to get to 60? All right? You'll be amazed at how quickly you're grasping this as you go forward, even into next year in 3rd grade. And at the bottom, this is what we call a word problem. All right? Let's take a read. I'm going to read it for you. Number 5, Diane's family visited the Clingmans Dome, which is the highest point in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Diane read that it can be cool at the top. Color the thermometers to show the different temperatures at Clingmans Dome. So guys, these are all the temperatures. They're listed for you. The only thing that you have to do is take your pencil, or if you want to use a crayon, but you can take your pencil and you're going to color the temperature. Now remember, when you're coloring in those little lines there, all those little lines are counting by twos. They're counting by 2. So make sure you're taking your time and being very careful with that in between. You'll see some even numbers, but there's an odd number there. And if it's counting by 2s and you see an odd number, that means you're going to have to kind of pace yourself in the middle and count it by 1. All right? Flip your page over. And guys, if you're still working on this first part, that's okay. I'm just going over the directions for you and I'm moving fast. So if you need to pause, go ahead and pause. But if you're ready to move on or you just want to hear all the directions right now, keep the video going and you can always go back. All right, so number 1 on the back, we have another word problem. And I'm going to read it to you, and you're going to pay attention. So you're going to have to do some math here. So listen very carefully. Dad, Mom, Diane, and Jody took a hayride in the Smoky Mountains. Each ticket cost $12. How much did the family spend on the hayride? So first of all, how many people went on this trip? Dad, Mom. Dad is 1. Mom is 2. Diane is 3. And Jody is 4. They took a hayride in the Smoky Mountains. Each ticket cost $12. So all of them went on the trip, right? And there's 4 people. So they each had to pay $12 because each ticket cost $12. So each person had to get $12. So 12, 12, 12, and 12. There's 4 12s. What do we need to do? Are we subtracting it? Or are we adding all these 12s together? You're adding all the 12s together. So when you're doing this, be careful because we're not just adding 12, we're adding $12. So how do you write $12? Remember, you got 12, and then you're going to have your dot, and then you're going to need to put something in the tens and the ones place on the other side. And then you're going to need a money sign. So add up the 12s. Remember, Dad, Mom, Diane, and Jody. That's 4 people. They went on the road. They went on the hayride trip. They had to buy tickets. They needed 4 tickets, 1 for each person. How much was it? You add it up, put it together. Make sure you have all the signs and the numbers in the correct place value. All right. When you look down, this entire problem is actually going to be, the word problem is going to be for your next few questions. Mom packed 2 snacks each for Dad. So remember, when you hear a number, you underline or circle it. Mom packed 2 snacks each for Dad. The 2 girls and her. How many snacks did she pack? So guess what? How many people do we have again? Mom, Dad, the 2 girls, right? So that's 4 people. Mom, Dad, and 2 girls. How many snacks did she pack? She gave each of them 2 snacks each. So what are we doing? We're counting by 2s. All right, that's all I'm going to give you. Number 3, the hayride lasted 1 1/2 hours. It began at 3:00 p.m. When was the ride over? So the hayride began at 1 p.m. When was the hayride over? If it began at 3 and it was 1 hour and 30 minutes, when was it over? All right, that might have given it. Number 4, on their hayride, Jody saw 4 deer. Oh, that's a number we need to underline or circle. 4 deer. Diane saw 2 deer. Mom saw 4 deer. And Dad saw 5 woodchucks. How many animals did the family see altogether? I know that's a lot. That's a lot. But what are we doing? Mom saw 4 deer. Jody saw 4 deer. Diane saw 2 deer. Mom saw 4 deer, and Dad saw 5 woodchucks. How many altogether did we see? So I think you guys know what you're doing there as well. And then at the very end, it says write the answers. Half of 14, half of 42, half of 120, half of 12, all right? You guys know how to do this. If there's an issue, I will say this. If there's an issue with this, Ada, Solomon, Michael, Mackenzie, Ruby, Naomi, if there's an issue, please let me know. I will do a problem like this tomorrow, but I don't want to give you the answer. I want to see what you guys know on your own and can do on your own before I jump in there. This is stuff that we've done before. It's review, but just want to make sure and clarify tomorrow. If there's any issue, let me know, and I'll go over that with you, and we'll do a similar problem, okay? That is your math lesson. I said it was a lot of different things, but it's pretty intense, pretty good, and I think you guys are ready for the job, all right? I love you, and you already know there's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Zoom. Bye, Ruby.